So recently I produced a video, and in that video I made the statement that the Remarkable is the best color e-ink note-taking device. In particular, I mean the Gallery 3 on the market. But having made that statement, I've since reflected on that, and I'm not so sure that statement was true. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge my own assertion by comparing Gallery 3, as based here on the Remarkable Paper Pro, to Kaleido 3, which we have right here on the Note Air 4C, and we're going to go through these categories and decide which one really is the best specifically for e-ink note-taking. So let's take a look. So we're going to begin by looking at color vibrancy. How good do the colors look? How much do they pop? And we're going to work with the primary colors. And right off the bat, with both devices on but no front lighting, it seems to me that the Remarkable has the advantage here. These colors pop more, they're a lot more distinct. The darker screen of the Books device clearly is working against it. Specifically, I mean the Kaleido 3 screen. But what happens if we start applying front lighting? Let's start with 50% lighting here on the Books device. Okay, so now that we have front lighting on 50% cold, now it looks like the Books device is more vibrant than the Remarkable device. So let's go ahead then and change front lighting on the Remarkable device. We're going to go to full lighting. And here we are. Now the reason why we went to full lighting is that the Remarkable's full lighting is more or less analogous to Books's half lighting. The difference being is here we've got a pure cold lighting, and the Remarkable has kind of a mixture of cold and warm, which you can't control on this device, but the brightness is roughly the same. They're not exact, of course. So now in this scenario where we've got half front lighting here and full front lighting here, I would argue that the Remarkable is looking the most vibrant. But what if we went to full front lighting on the Books device? So here with full front lighting, it appears now that the Books device looks the most vibrant. So to the answer of the question of which device is the most vibrant with its color, it depends. Now the contra to using front lighting is of course battery drain. So maybe before we score this category, we should focus on battery drain as well. And this is basically the grid that I've put together based on my battery tests. And making a long story short, this is basically the combination of the various front lighting combinations along with the writing test, where I do a continuous writing test, which is a very intensive, no breaks writing. So this battery drain is not what you're going to experience in real world use, because you're not going to write as intensively for as long as this test goes for. But the reason why these numbers are useful is it is an apples and apples comparison. And because of that, we can tell the difference between the two devices as it relates to general battery drain under the different scenarios. So the first scenario is no front lighting. In that case, remember, the Remarkable had the more vibrant color, but the Books device has the better battery life. In the midpoint, that's half of front lighting here, full front lighting here, slight advantage to the Remarkable for vibrancy, but a slight advantage to the Books for battery life. And then finally, if we look at full front lighting on both devices, the Books device is the most vibrant, and the Remarkable device, therefore, has the better battery life, meaning in all scenarios, when one device is more vibrant, the other then has a battery advantage. They are a perfect inverted relationship with each other, essentially. So our first scoring then puts us at essentially a tie. Depending on your preferences, of course, you may lean toward one device or the other, but both have advantages under certain situations where they're more vibrant, but at the same time yielding some battery life to the opponent. Okay, let's take a look at some of these other categories. So going forward, I'm going to go ahead and turn front lighting off on this device and go to 50% on this device. I think it helps. It's easier to see both screens that way. And we're moving on to color choice. And you can see here with Remarkable, there are generally 9 different options on most pen styles, when over here on the Books device, there's 16. So a definite advantage. And we see that actually carry on through highlighting. So the highlighter on the Remarkable device has 6 options, whereas on the Books device, all of these options are available for the highlighter, or they call that the marker as well. And in fact, if I get rid of this screen, these are all the examples of that. And while some of these are better than others in terms of highlighting, they're actually mostly pretty good and mostly usable. So regardless of whether you're looking at general pen types or you're looking at the highlighter or slash marker, the Books device has the clear advantage, that is the Kaleido 3 device, in terms of color selection. And so here's our updated grid. So now our attention turns to color behavior, and I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines, first here on the Books device and then on the Remarkable device, and I think there's a pretty clear difference between the two. So we'll start with black, so just notice the line drawing, it's immediate, there's no rendering, there it is. If we go ahead and then move to blue, like so, draw a line, you just draw the line, and the color appears. Let's go ahead now and do that for red. You just draw the line. It's no different than black, and there's no changes to the colors. Let's go ahead and go finally to green, and we'll draw this line. Again, it just appears like so. Let's take a look at these colors and refresh the screen. They pretty much don't change once the screen refreshes. Okay, let's compare that behavior to what we see on the Gallery 3 screen. Okay, so we're going to start with black. Like so, pretty smooth. Let's go ahead then and move on to blue. See, there's a little bit of a different behavior now. There's a little bit of a trailing or called snaking effect going on there. And then there you notice it re-rendered, although the color didn't change dramatically. Let's go ahead and look at red now. Definite visible snaking for sure, and then we're going to see it re-render. Okay, and then finally let's look at green. Again, you can see the snaking, and then it will render to another color. So I think it's pretty clear with color behavior, you write, and all colors look exactly the same. There's no re-rendering. It's all in real time here on the Kaleido 3 device. But on Gallery 3, we see a lot of snaking, and then we see a re-rendering of that. To me, there's no question the color behavior is superior on a Kaleido 3 screen. And so I think the reason why I thought the Remarkable device with Gallery 3 was the better was because of how the ink shows up without using any type of front lighting. You're just using the device, and it just looks better in that format. But if you consider all the other aspects of color note-taking and the fact that front lighting definitely puts the books into parity in terms of vibrancy, I think you can make a very good argument, and in fact I have made that argument here, that actually Kaleido 3 is the better device for e-ink note-taking, not Gallery 3. Therefore, I am refuting my own statement from the earlier video. I think that the winner goes to a Kaleido 3 device as the best e-note-taking experience. However, still not bad over here on the Gallery 3 device, and in some ways, the real winner is going to come down to preferences. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. Until then, I will see you next time.